Hello and welcome to Country Life Simple. I have a real craving for some raisin buns. They're little wheat raisin buns I used to eat when I was a kid. I went to school, often on the way to school or in my breaks. I went to the bakery and got those raisin buns, Rosinenbrötchen. And I've got a real craving for them, so today I'm gonna make them. So what I've done overnight, because it is quite cool here at the moment, I prepared the pre-dough actually yesterday morning, and it's nice and bubbly. So that's 85 grams of wheat flour, 85 grams of water, and about 9 grams of starter. Left that for about 20 hours. And then here I've got 100 grams of raisins and 250 grams of milk. I've soaked them for a few hours this morning. And now I'm going to drain the milk of this and heat the milk to about 30 degrees. And then I mix the milk, the pre-dough, and some plain flour and let it sit for about half an hour. And then I'll show you how to continue. If you don't like raisins, that's fine. You can use something else instead. You can use other dried fruits, or you can also use choc chips if you like. Obviously, you don't need to soak them in the milk. So here we now have 330 grams of plain flour, 190 grams of the raisin milk, and now I'm gonna add the pre-dough. And I mix this all up, and I heated the raisin milk up to 30 degrees. Make sure it's not hotter than 30 degrees, otherwise the your starter will die. So we mixed all the ingredients up, and now we leave this rest for 30 minutes. Okay, so after half an hour, I'm gonna add some more ingredients. I'm gonna add 7 grams of salt, 17 grams of brown sugar, and I'm just letting this mix a little, and then I'm gonna add 35 grams of butter. Some butter at the top. I didn't see that. There's butter everywhere. And I'm also gonna add raisins. So I added the raisins, and I kneaded it a little bit more by hand because the Kenwood was struggling. I have to be honest, I used to have an Aldi stand mixer and I was really happy with it, and then bought the Kenwood because of all the great different attachments, but definitely doesn't mix and knead as well as the Aldi one, unfortunately. Anyway, I tried to add as little flour as possible because I don't want my dough to get too dry. But obviously, I got a little bit of flour here underneath so it doesn't stick. And have now formed it into a nice round ball. And I'll leave this rest for about 2 hours at least, depending on your temperature. It's a bit cool here in central Queensland, so I might even leave it a bit longer. I'll come and have a look. So rest up, little dough. after about 2 hours, we divide the dough into about 8 pieces. And we make buns out of this. So when I make buns, I normally like to pull the dough down like this. So pull, 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 and then it looks like this on the bottom. Pull, pull. You get the gist. So now I have preheated the oven, and the bottom of my Brunswick Baker dish. For this recipe we don't want any steam, so we're just gonna put them in like that. There's 2 left. I'm just going to put them on a baking sheet. And then I'm gonna put some, this is just an egg, and I added about a teaspoon of milk. They look all nice and shiny. And then they're going to bake in the oven for 20 minutes at 200 degrees. So I had the oven preheated at 230. I reduced the temperatures to 200 when I took the baking dish out so they don't burn. If you feel they get too brown at the top, just put an upside down baking tray over them. Alright, the 20 minutes are over. Look at that. just how I remember. The other two are still in the oven because they were a bit lower. They're not quite as brown on the top, but they just look absolutely beautiful. Now, the hardest part is to let them cool down before I eat them. All right, let's try one, hey? I actually don't think I need a knife. Oh, yes. Look at this. Yep. Tastes exactly like when I was a kid. We used to have Rosinenbrötchen, Raisin Buns, and ones without raisins. I didn't like the ones without raisins. I found them too dry. But these ones I liked. And there's definitely a lot of raisins in it. Give these ones a go. They freeze well. And yes, delicious. Yum. Tastes nice just like that, or with some butter. I prefer them just like that. The raisins are juicy enough. I should have made some more. Buttery goodness.